Hi, I'm Mitra Sorrells in the PhocusWire studio at Phocuswright Europe, and I am joined by Nick Pellufo. He is founder and CEO at Trvlr. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Mitra.
So let's talk a bit first. What exactly is Trvlr, and what differentiates it from some others that maybe are in that same space?
So Trvlr is a payment platform for hotels and commission-based intermediaries.
Okay.
And our technology assures that those commissions are always paid in a week or less.
Okay. So there's lots of others in that space are trying to solve that problem. What makes what you're building different?
I think it's performance, really. Today in travel, we have booking is one platform. Payment processing is completely separate. Whenever there is an intermediary that requires a commission to be paid, is yet again another separate platform. So we combine all those three, which is essentially what all the platforms that we used to utilizing, let's say Uber, DoorDash, etc. That's what they do, right? So we piggyback on what they've done, the payment split technology, and that allows what today is about a 20% plus loss in commission. We turn that to zero. Usually it takes about 90 days to get paid one of those commissions, more often than not through a check in the mail, believe it or not.
Wow.
We pay in a week or less direct deposit. And also another problem of the checks is sometimes if they're in a foreign currency, it costs very often more to cash the check than the actual amount of the check.
All right.
And what's difficult to put in numbers is the cumbersome process of back and forth and requesting for invoices and all the mistakes that happen. We automate all that. So there's zero work for both the parties.
And then who holds the funds in that scenario?
So we partner with Adyen. They're a publicly listed company out of Amsterdam. They're one of the largest and most successful fintech companies in the world. They hold all the funds. They run KYC, AML. They tokenize payment methods. So everything from the financial perspective, it's run by them. And that provides a very significant layer of trust and security to our customers.
And actually, can you just describe a bit, who is your target customer? Like within the world of hotels, there's of course many different...
It's both hotels and intermediaries. So right now we're starting of luxury hotels.
Okay.
So medium to small independent luxury hotels or small collections, always on the high end, more focusing in Europe and the United States. On agencies, essentially agencies that book those same hotels, right? So very high-end travel agencies, and in that case, more skewed towards the U.S.
Okay.
Initially, right?
Yeah, sure. I understand you're still, really just getting started with this. So tell us a bit more then about, how much does it cost? Who pays? What does that look like?
So it's transaction-based.
Okay.
It's 1% of the room revenue, because essentially room revenue is where the commission is, so that's where we add value. And it's split 50-50 between buyer and seller. So it's essentially 50 basis points for the hotel, 50 basis points for the agency.
Okay. So describe a bit, you have a background for years in the industry and with payments. Why this solution? What motivated you on this opportunity?
So my career goes back 23 years that I started in hospitality. Over time, I added technology to it, so it's been now over a decade into it, and then finance with private equity and venture capital. And this essentially combines all of that. But what really, brought home to me was when I was talking to my sister, who owns a travel agency, and we were just having a conversation. I said, "What's your number one problem?" She said, "Receiving commissions." I was like, "That can't be. I mean, over 20 years ago, when I was doing sales calls and having to interact with travel agents, that was already a problem. It cannot possibly be that 2 decades later that remains a problem." Yeah. She said, "It's not only still a problem, but it's worse." I was like, "How come?" She said, "Well, there's higher frequency, higher volume. There's so much noise that everybody's really lost." And given how many people in my own family, in my friends, in my businesses that depend on that relationship being profitable and efficient, I had enough. So I took it upon myself to fix it.
And so as we're wrapping up, I'm wondering if you can just look ahead now in the next year as you're building this. Where do you hope to be in a year?
Where we really want to be is become the PayPal for travel, right? So we developed that infrastructure so that in a year, more or less, We can be a button on a GDS. We can be a button on anyone's website. So completely agnostic from the perspective of a brand or a channel, but they can choose to pay with Trvlr, and in one click, the whole transaction is done. All the participants get paid fast, efficiently.
Okay, well, we'll be watching to see what develops there. Wonderful. Nick
Thank
Pellufo from Trvlr, thank you so much for joining us.
I appreciate it. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Thank you.